Okay, folks, I was gonna do a little bit of work this morning, but I'm charging some lithium-ion batteries. All my batteries are dead. So it's story time again. We're gonna take a stroll down memory lane. Gators truck endeavors. Truck as in trucks. But this is the last edition. Hey, this is probably the only new truck I've ever owned. Is it? Yeah. But I may be missing a few there. It's just off memory. I used to have be running cars before. I had a Fairlane. Forget what year it was. I had put a straight axle on the front end, and I had a 390 Thunderbird engine in that. But that's a story for another day. That engine used to, I think it was 350 horsepower. And Fairlane was a small car. So I don't know if you know what the big thing in those days was spinning tires. You get some wide tires and you just smoke them. But I was young, prior to my 20s, I believe, if I remember. I had a Galaxy 500. That was a Ford. I used to blow engines out. We'll meander into another little story before. I used to blow engines all the time, and I was an electrician apprentice, and I used to work with a guy. His name was Ron. Okay, we'll just leave it at that. I remember his second name. He used to drag cars, and he said, he told me, he says, why your engines blow? Okay, I don't want no comments on this, because this was yesteryear. And these were all old engines, okay? Not new. So he says, you're driving a Ford. He says, you put a GM engine. He says, you drive a GM. He says, you'll never blow it. You'll rev it and it won't blow. So, okay, my last endeavor, the first truck was I gotta look at my notes here, because I wrote a few details down. It's a '66 Ford Bronco. I got that. I just had paid I don't know, $500 for that. I bought it from a construction company, and they used to clean. They had a plow in the front of that. They used to clean the parking lots or entrances with that. It had a blade in front, but it was Big Six, Ford Big Six. I never blew that though. I kept that for a few years. Went fishing with it. It was good, but it wasn't like, it didn't have a lock rear end. And in the days, well, I did a lot of things, but I could have maybe tipped the rear end out and change it to a lock rear end, but probably wasn't that enterprising then. Anyway, so okay, that's the Ford Bronco. And then the next truck, see, this was a '66. Then I went to 64. This truck was given to me. So I think I sold the Bronco, and I went to the '64 panel truck. This was a beast. And this '64, I don't know why. You know what I did with that? My older brother had a bush lot up in the mountains of Buckingham, and we took that truck. That was our traveling machine in the bush. We went places where there was no roads with this truck. This was a beast, eh? It was a four-wheel drive. I don't know what, there's a name for those. That truck stayed in the bush. And we got it. Eventually I went up there to get it 10, 12 years later. It was beat up, I'll tell you that. Like the sides of the truck were flat. There was no more tailgate or window at the back. This was in the days prior to the Suburbans, and they used to call them panel trucks, eh? And this was a full drive. It was a beast, eh? And it was, you could put a load in that boy. Anyways, it stayed in the bush and I got it stolen. All that was left was useless parts. They took everything, all the undercarriage, the motor, everything. There was a 283 in that truck. Forget the name. But anyways, next truck. 1972 GMC. GMC was at 3,500. This was a 1-ton truck. Hey, okay, pallets, blocks, you know, like blocks, like 10-inch blocks there. You could put 2 pallets of blocks in the box at the back, and it wasn't sitting on the rubbers. This was a beast of a truck. It had split rims on that. I had that for quite a few years, but the big problem, it could carry a load, but the biggest problem with that truck was that what a ride. It had a on the floor stick shift, I think it was. Well, as a matter of fact, the panel truck had, I think, the same transmission, and I seen another cement bags there, full. The box in the back of the cab there was full from one end to the other with cement bags, eh? And you'd go with that, and it was just a 6-cylinder again in that. But hang on, did I change that? No. But there's a guy, okay, that used to work for me. He was an electrician, but he had a farm, eh? And he wanted that truck. So he said to me, he says, I got a real nice, like the body was real nice. It was a 78 GMC Sierra Classic. Okay, it's a fancy, fancy, but it had a diesel engine. It was one of the first ventures that GM had with diesels. They took a Oldsmobile engine and they made a diesel out of it. But they didn't prove to be too dependable. So he had got that for a handshake from his brother-in-law. This truck, but it was real. The body was really nice, eh? And so he says, I'll trade you the truck for your old truck. My old truck wasn't a big looker, eh? It was a work truck. So I said, and I went to see it. It was a 2-tone, like light baby blue, like, and cream color, and real straight from one end to the other, chrome, everything on it. Like there was 2 strips of chrome on the sides, and then the grill in front was all chrome. Looked a lot nicer than my old my old 72. So I said, okay. Then what I did was I had a buddy that used to tow vehicles, eh? And he told me, he says, you know, that diesel is the same thing as a 350 Oldsmobile. So he says, I'll get you a 350 Oldsmobile. You just take the engine out and put it in. So I took the engine out of the Oldsmobile. I put it in the truck. I kept the transmission, I kept the starter, everything. It just bolted on like it was. It had the the diesels don't have much vacuum, eh? So they have it's a hydraulic assist vacuum pump for the brakes. It's not a vacuum pump. It's hydraulic assist brakes. And there was a few differences. The starter was, like, you could turn a gas engine like that, and the starter was twice the size, eh? Anyway, and I drove that truck for many years until I got, well, 1999. That truck lasted. Did I get another one after that? I forget now. My memory fails me sometimes. 1999, I got this one. It's it's got around 200 and some kilometers on that. And but now, hey, it hasn't gone out since I parked it last autumn, eh? I think the wife's vehicle, and this one stays in the garage. It's nice and cozy. I get it oiled every autumn, eh? No, I just flap my guns there, eh? I'm waiting for the batteries. They're still charging. Is this one charging? Oh yes, it is. The little red light's on, eh? They're still charging, and we have to wait, eh? Many batteries, but that's what happens when yeah. I'm waiting to remember this one, the old, I did it to it. Well, this one's working. I'm pretty happy with this, you know. It's this will be the start of another venture. Nah, it just I don't want to endeavor into talking about drills. We're talking about trucks today, eh? And well, anyways, I don't want to spill the beans on. Really, today was supposed to be a story about the day my 1972 brake line blew. And I was on I was going to work one morning. We used to work at a sawmill in around 2 hours from here in Davidson, Quebec, and me and another guy were going down there, and I blew a brake line. And in those days, see, the big problem, oh, these guys have time. Big problem with these rear brake drum brakes, okay, on these vehicles. This one here, that has it too, but I'm not about to start changing it. But I got a little beef about drum brakes, is that they come out of adjustment, and then first thing you know, you'd have to be under there every 2 weeks to snug them up. You got no more brakes in the back, you got brakes in the front. They bright engineers, eh? They put like this truck here, 1999. They put disc brakes in the front. They kept the drums at the back. I guess they hadn't figured a way to put disc brakes in the back yet. This was the big problem with the vehicles in those days. The brakes were just optional. And I was young, and we didn't. I don't know, we didn't value life that much in those days, so we just run by the seat of our pants. I could tell you stories about going to town here with no brakes, just a handbrake. But that's a story for another day. We covered more or less I probably forgot some though. I feel like I forgot about two, because there's a big lapse there between the Sierra Classic and this one, but I can't remember. Yeah. I don't remember the year. There was two There was one, it was a Department of Highway truck that I bought. It was yellow. I painted it white and I put a new, not new, a recycled 350 in it. That's in between the Sierra Classic and this one. And then there was another one. It was, I was going to say Cheyenne. It was a luxury model. It looked the same as the other one. But anyways, there's two between before I got to this one. But they look close to the same, eh? Like you look at the front end of this one and the other one's like GM took many years to change your models, eh? So okay folks, that's my story and I'm sticking to it. It's just jewels of knowledge. They were filling in time while the lithium ion batteries are charging, eh? I'll probably have a few more before winter's over. You'll surely have time to hear a few more little stories from Gator's jewels of knowledge. Salute yous all. Comments are welcome. I try to give non-generic answers. Those of you that are not subscribed, well, you take the advantage while you're on the video and you can subscribe and turn that little bell on and you won't miss none of my valuable videos. If you care to. I salute yous all and we'll see you in the next one.